Well, there's a long-term trend that's been going on for some time, and that is a trend of broadening tax bases in order to lower tax rates. And this is driven by fundamental developments in economic theory that demonstrate it's important to keep the rates as low as possible to generate the revenue that's necessary. So states have gone through a number of exercises to try to broaden bases and lower rates, and so that's Nebraska's thinking about doing similarly. I'd recommend broadening the sales tax base in order to lower the income tax rates, both personal and corporate, and not just at the top, but throughout the income distribution for personal individuals as well as for corporations. So I think that would be an efficiency-enhancing change the state could make that would be beneficial for long-term economic growth. I'd like to see the income tax rates come down. I think the top corporate rate should be comparable to the top individual rate to avoid arbitrage between the forms of income. That's a problem if they're too different. I'd like to see them both come down in the range of 5.5% or so if possible. It all depends on where you get the revenue to replace the losses there. And my recommendation is to get it from some broadened sales tax base. Modern is broad-based low rates. That's essentially the issue. And in terms of the sales tax, that means taxing internet sales. It means taxing services, which we don't tax very much. We need to stay away from taxing business inputs and intermediate goods. But services is an important component of modernizing the sales tax. Now, as far as fairness goes, fairness is in the eye of the beholder. So I think we've got to be careful. If we move in the direction of broadening the sales tax base, we've got to be careful to provide mechanisms for relief for low-income families. The sales tax is well known to be highly regressive, and so we'd want to be careful in that direction. We might need some additional mechanisms to provide low-income families tax relief if we broaden the sales tax base. So that's an important consideration, but shouldn't stop us from thinking about modernizing the sales tax and using the revenue there to lower the income tax rates. Well, we've got to modernize the sales tax system entirely. It's an anachronistic tax designed in the old days to tax final goods only, never intended to tax services. And the economy has shifted from goods production to service production, so that's an important component of modernizing the sales tax base. I think the property tax is a relatively stable and good tax to support local public services that people want, education in particular. And one of the strengths we've got is basing our sales tax system on market values of property. And so I think that's one of our strengths.